Do you feel like you're swimming against the current? Every day, you wake up with a heavy weight pressing down on you. Work, family, and the expectations you place on yourself. You want everything to be perfect, to achieve your goals as quickly as possible, and even to control things beyond your power. But the harder you push, the more exhausted you feel, and the greater your sense of failure becomes. We often trap ourselves in a vicious cycle. For example, you may cling to a relationship that no longer serves you, simply out of fear of being alone. You might overwork yourself, even at the expense of your health, in hopes of gaining recognition from your boss. Or you blame yourself when things don't go as planned, even though part of the outcome was out of your hands. These actions don't lead to success. They only leave you mentally and physically drained. Ironically, this pressure often doesn't come from external sources, it comes from within. It stems from fears of inadequacy, perfectionist tendencies, and the constant need to control everything. The harsh reality is that you can't control everything. The world doesn't operate according to anyone's personal desires. You need to ask yourself, is what I'm holding on to truly worth it? And if I let go, could I feel lighter? Sometimes, the problem isn't that life is too harsh, it's that you're imposing unnecessary burdens on yourself. So, how can you move past this feeling? How can you stop forcing things and find balance again? Keep reading to explore Stoic philosophy, the key to releasing pressure and living freely. If you find this content helpful, please subscribe to the channel and like the video to motivate me to create more new videos. Stoic philosophy offers profound insights into how we handle life's pressures. Epictetus, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, said, "Some things are within your control, and some are not." This principle forms the foundation of inner freedom. You can't force the world to work in your favor, but you can control how you respond to it. Imagine someone steering a boat on the open sea. Storms can arise at any moment, and they can't control the weather. But what they can do is adjust the sails, steady the helm, and decide their next course of action. Your life operates the same way. When you try to control things beyond your reach, like others' emotions, project outcomes, or the dynamics of a relationship, you're setting yourself up for failure. However, if you focus on your own actions and let go of what isn't yours to control, you'll discover peace. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor and Stoic philosopher, reminded himself, "Accept everything that happens as if you had chosen it." This doesn't mean passive resignation, but rather adopting a flexible mindset. Instead of resisting reality and exhausting yourself fighting the impossible, embrace it as part of life. Doing so not only frees your mind, but also sharpens your focus on what truly matters. Stoicism doesn't advocate giving up on effort. On the contrary, it emphasizes purposeful and mindful action. When you stop forcing things and instead direct your energy toward what lies within your control, you'll experience the power of inner freedom. That's when you begin to live naturally, no longer bound by expectations or fears. Have you ever asked yourself why you keep trying to force things even when it exhausts you? The root cause isn't simply a desire for better results. Deep down, it's a reflection of fears and expectations you create for yourself. First, you fear losing control. We often feel insecure when things don't go as planned. When obstacles arise, you instinctively try to grasp onto everything, hoping that control will protect you from failure. But this is like squeezing sand in your hand. The tighter you grip, the more it slips away. Second, you set unrealistic expectations for yourself. You believe you must be perfect, achieve every goal, and satisfy everyone around you. These unattainable expectations create immense pressure. When you fall short, you feel disappointed and blame yourself, creating a never-ending cycle of negativity. Third, you lack patience. Life is a process, but sometimes you want to skip ahead, craving immediate success. When things don't happen as quickly as you'd like, you push yourself to do more, faster, even beyond your limits. This not only leads to exhaustion, but also disrupts the balance in your life. The underlying cause of forcing things lies in the inability to accept yourself and your reality. When you're dissatisfied with the present, you try to force it to change. But the truth is, Forcing control doesn't always lead to positive outcomes. Sometimes, letting go is the answer. What drives you? Fear, expectations, or impatience? Take a moment to reflect, because the first step to change is identifying the root of the problem. To learn how to transform these challenges into strengths, continue reading. Let's create a community filled with love and inspiration together. Subscribe to the Stoicism for Success channel today and share it with your friends and family, those you want to see living stronger, kinder, and more optimistic lives. Let's spread this positive energy to even more people. 1. Distinguish between what you can and cannot control. One of the core lessons of Stoic philosophy is the clear awareness of your own limitations. Life is full of situations beyond your control, yet we often try to hold on to or change them. This not only proves futile, but is also a primary source of stress and frustration. The philosopher Epictetus once said, "True freedom lies in the ability to distinguish between what is within your control and what is not." This sounds simple, but practicing it requires mindfulness and discipline. Start by making 2 lists: things you can control. For example, your attitude, actions, habits, words, and how you respond to circumstances. These are entirely within your power. Things you cannot control, for example, other people's thoughts and emotions, the weather, economic conditions, or the final outcome of an event. No matter how much effort you put in, these things are not entirely up to you. Once you understand this distinction, you can focus your energy on what truly matters. Instead of worrying about what you cannot change, you'll concentrate on improving yourself and your approach to life. This not only reduces stress, but also brings a sense of inner freedom. For instance, if you're waiting for a response from a job application, instead of stressing about the recruiter's decision, something you can't control, you could spend that time improving your skills, learning something new, or preparing better for the next opportunity. This proactive approach not only brings peace of mind, but also helps you feel empowered in any situation. The lesson here isn't to ignore everything, but to filter and focus on what you can change. When you master yourself, you'll realize that you don't need to control the world to live fully. Ask yourself, am I wasting energy on things beyond my control? What can I do right now to improve the situation without forcing the impossible? When you answer this question, you'll feel the pressure ease and freedom begin to emerge. 2. Focus on the process instead of the outcome. We often fall into the trap of measuring our self-worth by the results we achieve. In reality, the only thing you truly control is the process. How you work, how you learn, and how you improve day by day. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that happiness doesn't come from reaching a destination, but from fully dedicating yourself to each action. Imagine training for a marathon. If you only focus on winning the race, you'll feel pressured every time you don't meet your performance goals. But if you shift your attention to each training session, each stride, and enjoy the process of self-improvement, you'll find the practice more enjoyable and meaningful. Similarly, in life, when you spend too much energy chasing outcomes, it's easy to feel disappointed when things don't go as planned. This leaves you exhausted and robs you of the joy in what you're doing. Instead, focus on daily actions, the small steps you can take right now and do well. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Don't ask yourself if your work will succeed, ask if you're doing it right." This serves as a reminder that wholehearted effort is what matters most. A person who works diligently and responsibly will ultimately achieve good results without needing to force themselves. Apply this to your life. If you're learning a new skill, don't worry about when you'll master it. Instead, focus on practicing each day, staying consistent, and appreciating even the smallest progress. Focusing on the process not only alleviates pressure, but also brings joy. You'll no longer be haunted by the fear of failure or guilt over unmet goals, because you know that every step is leading you to where you need to be. The outcome will naturally follow from the effort you put into the journey. 3. Learn to accept reality. Some things in life happen against your wishes. Failures, heartbreaks, and unexpected setbacks are inevitable. Instead of resisting or trying to fix what has already occurred, Stoic philosophy advises you to learn to accept reality as it is. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive. It's about acknowledging that certain factors are beyond your control and redirecting your energy toward adapting instead of resisting. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Love your life, even when it is not perfect. Everything that happens has a purpose you may not yet see." Think about situations in your life that you cannot change: a failed project, a broken relationship, or a missed opportunity. If you keep dwelling on them or blaming circumstances, you're trapping yourself in the past. However, when you accept that these events have occurred and cannot be altered, you free up energy to move forward. A practical way to practice acceptance is to ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen, and can I live with it? The answer is often yes. No matter how significant the loss, you can rise again and start anew. Acceptance doesn't add to the damage. Instead, it allows you to face reality more calmly. Imagine steering a boat on the open sea. When a storm hits, you cannot stop it, but you can adjust your sails to avoid capsizing. Life works the same way. You cannot control the events, but you can control how you adapt to them. Accepting reality doesn't make you weak. On the contrary, it makes you stronger. It's the first step toward overcoming difficulties and finding balance in your soul. When you stop resisting, you'll realize that life, even in its imperfections, is still worth living. 4. Practice patience and flexibility. Patience is not just a virtue but an art of living. In a fast-paced world, we often feel pressured to achieve success instantly. However, Stoic philosophy reminds us that genuine growth takes time, and patience is the key to overcoming challenges along the way. Epictetus once said, "No one becomes excellent at the start. Everything requires time and practice." When you force results to come faster than their natural pace, you not only exhaust yourself, but also compromise the quality of what you are building. Look at the grand phenomena in nature. A tree takes years to grow, and a river requires centuries to shape itself. Your life is the same. Every small step contributes to a larger outcome if you have the patience to wait. Patience doesn't mean passively waiting, but rather persisting without forcing. Instead of rushing toward your goals, set specific, practical steps and enjoy each stage of the journey. For instance, if you're learning a new skill, accept that mastery takes time. Each day you learn a bit more, each failure becomes a lesson, and every small progress is an achievement worth celebrating. In addition to patience, flexibility ensures you don't get stuck when things don't go as planned. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Be like water, finding new paths when faced with obstacles." When confronted with challenges, rather than forcing things to go your way, adapt your approach. A goal can often be reached through various paths, and sometimes the unexpected route brings the best results. Try this exercise. When you feel impatient, pause and ask yourself, am I overlooking the value of the present by focusing too much on the future? The answer often helps you regain calmness and recognize that every moment is meaningful. By combining patience and flexibility, life becomes lighter. You'll no longer feel the need to force anything, because you understand that everything will come in its own time and in its own way. Life is not a battle to control everything, but a journey to learn how to adapt and enjoy. When you stop forcing and shift your focus to what is truly within your grasp, you'll feel a sense of relief and freedom. Letting go doesn't mean giving up effort. On the contrary, it is about focusing on the process and learning to act wisely without being obsessed with the outcome. This brings inner strength and helps you face challenges with composure. As Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "Life is not what happens to you, but how you react to it." Remember, none of us are perfect, and not everything goes according to plan. But it is this unpredictability that makes life interesting. Instead of forcing yourself to bear every pressure, try letting go and living naturally. True freedom begins in your mind. Thank you for watching this video. Support the community by hitting the subscribe button and turning on notifications now. Don't forget to like the video and share your story in the comments section. Let's spread as much positive energy as possible together.